Right, this is the second attempt at this video. I messed the first one up, so I'm going to give it a go again. I've not made many videos recently because I've just been far too busy. One of my dogs hasn't been very well either, so I've been trying to get her better. You can probably hear her snoring in the background as usual. So today I've, as always, put a message out on my social media and asked for some ideas that you'd like to see me draw or paint. I picked one at random, this time by Tiffany Todd, and she'd like me to draw a Christmas Nutcracker. That's not something we generally have here in the UK. You see them every now and then, but they're just sort of a traditional wooden type Nutcracker, I presume, in the shape of a person or a soldier. As I say, we don't really have them here in the UK very much, so I'm using a photo reference, or several photo references, and I'm going to combine them sort of to make my own version of, but keep it very, I suppose, traditional. But I'm just combining more than one image because I don't like using a reference photo really, and I like to try and put my own spin on things. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to quickly draw an outline from an image that I've got on my phone, just beyond the camera there. I can't show you that for copyright reasons, obviously, but I'm just going to sketch it out. I might speed through parts of it as usual and then colour it in, but I am going to try and keep the video relatively short this time because I think my videos go on a bit too much because I talk too much. So I'm going to crack on with that straight away and yeah, see how it goes. I'm just building the picture up in some very basic shapes in a minute because I can already see that the picture I need to do is quite long really, so I'm trying to miniaturise it slightly. So I'm just going to draw some basic shapes just to give me some form of reference. And I'm not too bothered about this being very neat. If it was a pencil drawing through and through, I'd probably take much more time on it, but this is more for proportion really than anything else. I suppose I should look up the history of these Nutcracker decorations because I don't really know too much about them, to be honest. I presume it's just in winter time, obviously there's a harvest or a glut of nuts and things like that that have come into season and being stored away for the winter and being eaten over the winter months. So I presume just combining Christmas decoration with a functional kitchen tool and at the same time is how it's come about. But as I say, I don't know too much about it all really. Maybe you can leave me some comments below, and if you know more than I. And I'm just going to go over this in ink in a minute, which is why it's all very rough, and then rub quite a lot of the graphite marks out. They're quite decorative, so it would seem. So there's lots of patterns and things that I'm going to add on there. Some of the patterns are going to be quite random. I'm just going to do my own thing just to get through the video. I'm just going to choose a pen I'm going to use to outline it. Just resorted to using random patterns on the actual clothing. They seem to vary so much from the pictures that I'm looking at. That's why you can see me keep doing this. I keep reactivating my phone screen because it keeps turning itself off. So if you can see me doing that. And one of the things they all seem to have are some quite pronounced teeth. So I presume that is the Nutcracker element of them. Okay, there we go. That's most of the inking done. I'm just going to erase the graphite now. The pen I use dries pretty much instantly, so I'm just going to go over that. But if you use a non-waterproof ink or something that dries slowly, you want to do this bit a little bit later on because it will smudge the ink. And I'm only doing this in rough, obviously. I'm kind of rushing through it really because I'm conscious of the length of the video. I don't think people tend to like them to go over about 10 minutes from my findings. Most of mine run into sort of half an hour plus, I think, so I'm trying to speed through this one. So it's only a very basic drawing. Okay, so that's the main part. I'm just going to have a look if there's any more detail I want to add to it. I think that's pretty much it really. Just having a quick look. Might just put some separating lines on there. Just going to go over the eyes a little bit more. I think that'll do. It's time to put some paint on there now and see where it goes. A lot of people keep asking me what paints I use for my illustrations, and it really does vary. I have pretty much every brand you can think of, and I do use them all. It tends to vary depending if the painting is actually going to be hung on someone's wall or if it is just a quick illustration such as this one, if I can speak. Illustrations like this that aren't really going to be used for anything other than a quick video, I tend to use cheaper paints on them that aren't light fast, and that just means that they will degrade and lighten over time. If you use a more expensive paint, they tend to have an archival quality to them which will last pretty much indefinitely. So normally I'd use cheap paints for this, but I'm actually using expensive ones just purely because I'm too lazy to go and root the other ones out. These are Schmink paints, which they're pretty expensive actually. It doesn't really make any difference, it's just the colours and things are pretty much the same. It's just a case of them lasting better over time, and they won't fade with exposure to the sun, whereas cheaper ones will. But as it's not going to be hung anywhere and it's just a quick sketch, it doesn't really matter. So I would normally use the cheaper ones, but I'm just using what I've got to hand to date. And I think most of these Nutcracker things are generally red, but I'm just trying to keep it with some within sort of the Christmassy type colours, reds, greens, and anything a bit festive. Got an annoying bit of fluff on the end of my brush. I always get that. As my my own fault. I'm always sort of doing craft type things on one of my art desks, and I generally make a mess. I'm just going to look at my reference photo again. I'm not too bothered about sort of small mistakes that I make, such as colouring that little circular area there with red. I'll go over that with a different colour later, but obviously I take more time if I'm working on a piece that's going to be published. But this is really just a quick tutorial, just to give you an idea if you're trying to find out how to draw one of these and sort of copy what I'm doing. I know that I often say this, but if you'd like to suggest something that I paint in my next video, if you head on over to my Facebook page, you can leave comments here of course, but I tend to be more active on Facebook. If you head on over to there, the links are in the description below, and you can make your suggestions there, and I'll draw them if I can. I've broken most of the rules I usually set out in this painting, but I tend to put light colours on first, because obviously the darks will easily go over them. But I failed to do that in this picture so far. But I am going to do that on the face. I'm going to, because a lot of the face is going to have dark elements on there. I want to put a bit of the lighter colours on there first, and then you can go over the edges purposely just to save a little bit of time, because I know that the moustache is going to be black, some of the eyebrows, so it doesn't matter if I go over them now, and that just helps speed things up. You don't have to do that, but as I'm already about half an hour in on this video, I'm going to try and do anything that saves a little bit of time. And with the gold on the crown here, I'm just going to leave little areas of white. You can see one of my other videos for an explanation as to why I do that. Just makes it look a little bit more realistic, although I'm not really going for realism obviously in this picture, but you get the idea. I am starting to rush now because I've gone far over the 10-minute mark that I was trying to stick to, so I'm going to have to speed through a lot of this video. I probably already have if from a viewer's point of view. Okay, the camera cut out there, so I'm just jumping back in. So that's pretty much the colours down. I'm just going to put a little bit of shadow in there, and I'll just show you a way of putting a little bit more detail in there as well if need be. But I've severely overrun on this video because it seems to have been fraught with technical issues and all sorts going on. So Just going to speed through this part as well. You can see I made a mistake there. Just call the red paint. I forgot it wasn't dry. So with watercolour, there's not much point trying to correct that because you'll just make it worse. And it doesn't really matter on a picture like this, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. It doesn't really matter. And there we have it. As I said earlier, I'll just show you how to add a little bit more detail if you decide you want to do a proper job on one. There's various ways of doing that. But one of them is to just get some coloured pencils and just go over the top of it and just build up a little bit of detail on there if you want to. I don't tend to do this very often, but occasionally I do. You probably won't see it too much on the actual camera here, but you can just add a few highlights and deeper tones as well, just to give it a sense of some texture. I'm only doing a very rough job here, so you'll need to spend a lot more time on it than what I am, just because I'm out of it now. But you get the idea. Again, that's my pug snorting like a tank in the background. And then we have it. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to do any more because I've gone long beyond the point where I was intending to finish on this video. So if you like it, just please give the thumbs up on the buttons on the screen, and if you have a look at the comments section, you'll see the links to my other pages and whatnot, and some of my more professional type work. And again, if you do like it, if you could just spread the word. I'm only going to continue to do these videos if they do get quite a few views, because it takes quite a long time to do them, and some of them aren't getting too many views yet, so which, yeah, doesn't really matter. But if you'd like to see me continue to add them, please do help support the channel. Many thanks.